Hi there. Okay, so as you're preparing this closed memo assignment, you need to, at some point, focus more on your reasoning. So even after you get it all done, the entire memo done, you're going to want to step back and analyze just the reasoning to make sure that it's sophisticated enough, to make sure that in detail it's explaining the connection between the law and the facts. Generally, I and all legal writing professors see, and all professors really, if you get a C or a C minus or a D on an essay, it's generally because of these two reasons. You're just reciting facts, or you're just stating a conclusion without explaining how you got there. Now, there are other reasons, like you just completely missed the essay altogether, which I did before once. It was a travesty. Or you just didn't spot the issue. So we're assuming you spotted the issue and you actually did the essay. But then once you write it, these are the two biggest problems that we see, just reciting facts and just coming to a conclusion. So here's an example. If you're analyzing like an IIED claim and you wrote something like this is just stating the facts. Go ahead and read that there. Okay, so it doesn't connect them to any of the law. Okay. Now read this. So the light blue here I'm using to represent the law. So this just makes a conclusion about the law. And then we get a little better here because now it's combined. At least in one place you have law and fact. But the problem is that now you're taking the burden of analysis, of reasoning, and you're putting it on the reader. And you're saying, hey, reader, here are the things you need to do reasoning. And then there you go. Instead, your job is to connect it all together. Okay? So here it's a little better. It's connecting them. Targeted Ms. Thompson directly with his actions. It was humiliating. So this is getting better because it's characterizing some of the fact, and that characterization is reasoning. That's connecting the law and the fact. It's kind of the middle ground between the two. And then here's more detail, and you might want to pause the video, or if you have this PowerPoint up, look at it, because there's a lot going on here. But basically, the black is the facts, and then the light blue is the rule, and then the green is kind of the connecting of the analysis together. And the mode largely of connecting is by reasoning, by characterizing. Okay, so go ahead and study that and see how the characterizations are connecting and the other ways that they're connecting. One way to connect is just, if you want to be formulaic about it, in one sentence, make sure you're putting both law and fact together, and add in some characterization for good measure. So if in one sentence you have some law, some fact, and a characterization, you're probably connecting the law and the fact in a good way. All right. Now I'm going to ask you to do something that is difficult. It's very taxing on the brain, but it will help you be a better reasoner. To be better, you need to analyze how other people reason. And so in the module for this week, there's a really good opinion, People versus Weaver. And it's not perfect, but it's the techniques of reasoning in it are really good. There's quite a bit of good detail in there. So I want you to analyze it. And under the two main categories of reasoning, so under rule-based reasoning and reasoning by analogy, I want you to write down at least two things for each category that the writer is doing well. And so you're focusing on the techniques of reasoning. What is the writer doing to connect the law and the fact? And then write those down. And then in the next video, we'll analyze that. So go read People versus Weaver and write down what the writer is doing well to reason. Okay, so instead of just repeating an argument like, oh, the judge said that a GPS tracker is vastly different because it's more sophisticated. Don't just write that. That's just an argument. Instead, write what kind of argument the judge is doing there. And what the judge was doing there is he was contrasting. He was saying this is vastly different. He was contrasting. That's reasoning by analogy. And he was characterizing. He was saying that a GPS unit is more sophisticated. So the answer would be contrasting and characterizing. Okay, so anyway, those are techniques that he was using. So focus more on the techniques. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.